What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the It Takes Grit podcast with me, Rebecca Louise. Today, we are talking about why to put you first. Yes, but first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who is watching our version and listening to our version 2.0 of the It Takes Grit podcast. I appreciate and love all of your support, and it's so great to see our community growing and this message of positivity, grit, no BS, being able to be spread around the world. So great job, everybody, in making that happen. So why are we talking about why you need to put yourself first, right? It's so important to know why, because it's going to be easier to actually take action when you know why something happens. Women typically don't always put themselves first. And then they have a little bit of resentment about why. Like, well, I was doing this with the kids, and I was doing this for my husband, and this for my partner, and, then I was doing this, and I didn't have any time for myself. Well, you got to change that narrative. And you've got to understand why it's so important for you to put things first for you, right? So you're going to feel more empowered when you have more energy. When you are lacking energy, you don't feel the best version of you, right? When you haven't worked out for a while, when you haven't fed your body the best nutrition, how do you feel physically? You feel kind of right? You're just like, oh, I just don't feel right in my body. Like I don't feel comfortable. Well, if you haven't been putting your nutrition and your workouts first, then you're going to feel that lack of confidence. You're going to feel like you're not the best version of yourself, because when you are working out, and it doesn't mean that you're in the ideal shape that you like perfectly want to be in. No, but it's about that you're on the journey and you're making it happen that gives you confidence. You are going to have confidence and you're going to feel more empowered when you are feeling better about yourself. And you're going to be able to deal with life's challenges better, right? When you put yourself first, when you're eating healthy, when you're exercising, when you are feeding your mind great resources of positivity, you are going to be able to deal with all of life's challenges. Imagine like you just weren't looking after yourself and you were neglecting you and you were just doing a million things for other people, and then boom, big life challenge happens. What happens then? You struggle more. It's harder to get through. You go deeper and deeper into this hole. Instead of going, you know what? I'm going to be prepared and ready for all of life's challenges because I'm looking after myself. I'm empowered and I'm going to look after me. So that's why we need to look after ourselves first, because if something happens for you in life that you're like, hey, I'm getting this big test, I'm not sure why, but I'm getting the test, you're going to be more mentally and physically prepared for it. Because there's going to be something that's going to happen for you in 2024. You're not going to understand why. You're not going to understand you're not going to understand why it's happening at the time. But something will happen, big or small. And imagine if you haven't been looking after yourself, what that's going to do. It's going to take you down. It could ruin everything for you. You could really get to a low point that you can't get yourself back up. So you need to put yourself first to be empowered and then to be able to deal with life's challenges. All right. Massive reason for putting yourself first is to enhance your mental and physical health. And you're more likely to engage in great activities throughout the day with your family, with your friends, when you have energy. Energy is everything. With it, all is possible. Without it, nothing is. And you're going to feel a happier person when you have energy. Because when you don't have energy, how do you feel? You're like this. Oh, you just feel like, oh, everything is so heavy and I just don't know if I can do this. And then the last thing that you start to do is put yourself first because you just kind of give up. But that's why you have to enhance your mental and physical, and that only happens by putting yourself first. You have to make sure that you do not skip your workout. Doesn't have to be a super intense workout. It could be a 30-minute stretch. It could be a walk around the block. It could be a couple of star jumps just to change your state. But if you don't change your energy by looking after your health with exercise and nutrition, your energy levels are going to drop so much that you're not going to engage in anything. And how's that going to affect your kids? And how's that going to affect your family and your spouse and your family and your friends? So you think, oh no, I'll be fine. I don't need to put myself first. But this is one of the reasons why you need to. So first, you're going to feel more empowered. And two, you're going to need to enhance your mental and physical so that you have more energy. The best thing about putting yourself first, in my eyes too, is that you're going to actually increase your productivity. Think about it. An NFL player or a sports player or any sport, they don't play a full game every single day. What do they do in between? Yes, they practice, but they also rest. They rest a lot. And so if you are not resting, the time that you get to be productive is going to be a lot slower. How long does it take you to do laundry or some task when you are low energy because you're tired and you're sleepy? 2-3 times longer. But if your energy was higher, it would take you half the amount, quarter of the amount of time to do that task, and then you've got time for other things. So this illusion that I've got to do the laundry and I've got to do that. No, if you slept for an hour when you needed a nap or a rest, and then you got back to the task, you'd actually get that task done much quicker because you are energized. So it's going to increase your productivity. It's going to increase your creativity. There's so many ideas inside of you, but when you're tired, it's really hard for them to come out. So I want you to have a space where you can really recharge. You need a space to recharge and to have those rest intervals. And that only happens when you put yourself first. So when you put yourself first, you're going to be more productive. You're going to be more creative. But you have to make a point of putting yourself first with rest intervals and space to recharge. This is on you. This isn't somebody else. And if you listen to another one of our podcasts, we talk about how to avoid burnout, and you get what you tolerate. If you're saying, well, Rebecca, I just can't put myself first. You don't understand. There is all of this stuff going on. No, that's a choice. That's a choice that you are making to not put yourself first, and therefore you're tired, therefore you're exhausted, and the only person that you have to blame is yourself. So what are you going to do today? What is going to change in your life today that's going to have a ripple effect on the next hour, the next day, because you decided to put yourself first? It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's the smart thing to do, because then you can be the best version for yourself and everybody else around you. All right. It's also going to help you build stronger relationships, because people are going to respect the fact that you respect you. And they're also going to know, hey, if this person says they're going to show up with great energy. They're going to show up with a great attitude. They're going to be excited. They're going to be ready to go. So it's actually going to help you build stronger relationships with your spouse, with work colleagues, with family members, with other people in your network and your community. By putting yourself first, it's going to bring up that energy, because you have to respect your time and boundaries. So you're going to build stronger, closer friendships, because you're also going to push out the people that aren't important, that aren't adding value to your life, that are those energy suckers. So putting yourself first is also saying no to some of those negative relationships, which when you get rid of other people that aren't great for you, you're going to build bigger and stronger relationships with those people who are meant to be in your life. Why? Because they're actually going to respect you more for getting rid of those people that should not have been in your life, right? They're going to respect you more. You're going to spend more time with the people that are meant to be in your life, that are going to create the life that you want to go towards, which is happiness, health and happiness, right? Health and happiness, and lifting each other up and stepping away from this negative victim mentality. And so finally, living the life of authenticity, right? If you are living a life full of authenticity and fulfillment, you're going to be happy. And that is putting you first. This all steps back. Like, why do you need to put you first? Because if you put yourself first, you'll be living a life of authenticity and fulfillment. And when you do those things, you're going to be happy because you're being you and you're being fulfilled. And purpose. Purpose is everything. Purpose is what gets us up in the morning. If you don't put yourself first, how are you ever going to live your purpose? And if you're not living your purpose, how are you ever going to be who you truly are? And if you're never going to be who you truly are, you're never going to be happy because you're consistently faking it or being somebody that you're not. So you want to allow your values to align with the action. Right? Your values need to align with the action that you are taking. So if you're saying, hey, health is important to me and, nutrition and looking after my body and being the best version of myself, if that is something serious, you need to put yourself first, because without putting yourself first, you can't get to that level. You're going to be stuck all the way. The only way to grow and morph and change and to be challenged is to spend time on your own. Is to spend time on you, is to put yourself first. Because the more decisions that you make throughout the day based on being in a high state and great energy, the better those decisions are going to be. You're going to have more energy and you're going to have more certainty. People who live in like this, well, I think this is right, and I think this is my favorite, and I'm not really sure, like maybe this, they're just out of alignment because they're in low energy and they're not certain of who they are. But the only way that you only ever truly figure out who you are and what you're capable of and how you can reach that full trajectory is to put yourself first. So I hope those couple of tips really hone in on why it's so important to put you first. Because at the end of the day, everybody else is going to leave at one point. It's going to be just you. Yes, you're going to have like friends and family, but there's going to be times where it's just you. And so if you haven't put yourself first, what else really matters? Well, thank you so much for listening, watching, wherever you are in the world. I just hope that you took something away from today that you can start to execute immediately, right? If we don't take any action, if we just listen to audios and we just listen to what's being said at an event, nothing actually takes place. We have to make a decision that we want to change. Therefore, something that you learned today, start to implement it immediately. And I will see you on next week's episode of It Takes Grit.